From Regency Furniture Stadium, just about 10 minutes away from first pitch between the Blue Crabs and the Rockers. Southern Maryland looks for their fourth consecutive victory after sweeping the Lancaster Barnstormers in what was supposed to be a 3-game set and became a 2-game series after last night's rainout. Blue Crabs also won the final game of that Long Island Ducks series to make it 3 in a row. So the Blue Crabs look to make it 4 straight this evening as they take on the High Point Rockers. Mitch Lamson will take the mound for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. He goes up against Ivan Pinero in this opening matchup. Well, we had a chance to catch up with Blue Crabs starting pitcher Eddie Butler before today's game. He's not on the mound till Sunday, but still had a good chance to have a conversation with him. We didn't pass it up. It's the pregame show on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We're on the road for a week. They're now back at home here in Southern Maryland. Austin Rooney joined by Blue Crabs starting pitcher Eddie Butler. Butler's not on the mound till Sunday, but we thought we'd have some fun here and get this pregame interview going. So, Eddie, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Austin.
Well, let's go back. You had your last start on Sunday. That was a bit of a wild game. Take me through your start and that ball game.
The start of the game, I think we put up 3 runs real quick. David Harris hit a home run. And then go in there into the bottom of the first, and I give up 4 myself. So, put us in a little hole there. And then next thing I give up another 2. So we were down 6-3 there. But the team, they're really good. They scrapped their way back and continued adding runs and adding runs and adding runs. Next thing you know, I think we were up 17-10 or something. And then ended up being, I think, 19-16 final. So all those runs that they were adding on the whole game really were crucial.
It was 19-16. That's 35 total runs between the two teams. That brings us to a new segment. So we're going to ask our players in our pregame interviews some trivia questions. This one we actually got to back in Lancaster as one of our older trivia questions. But the question is, what's the most total runs ever scored in an MLB game? Have a guess?
41? I feel like it's pretty close. I feel like I've seen something like a 20-21 game or something like that.
1922. 26-23 final, 49 runs. Cubs and the Phillies. Not too bad.
Hey, not too bad. It was close.
All right, well, that brings us on. Let's go back to that road trip for a moment here, though. Do you have any fun? You had a week there with the team on the road in Long Island, Lancaster. You must have had some time there between starts.
Yeah, I had a good time. Had some family friends, and my daughter came up with me, so we got to go out and see a couple of sites. Went over, saw where Teddy Roosevelt lived and all that, and then visited a few establishments for some food and drinks afterwards.
Sounds like a blast.
Oh, yeah, great time.
Well, that brings us to our second trivia question here, and that is tonight's trivia question. It is, with David Ortiz inducted into the Hall of Fame, how many Dominican-born players are now in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Let's say like 57.
57. Well, you're not exactly all that close. We're going to give the answer on the broadcast. I'll tell you after the interview. We're going to give the answer on the broadcast, though. But I hear you have a story with David Ortiz.
Yeah, got to face David Ortiz once in the big leagues and got him to pop out. But, the Boston fans weren't too happy with me because I knocked him down during the at-bat, and they about booed me out of the stadium.
Something else. Is this on YouTube? Can fans find this?
I'm not sure if that one's on YouTube, but if you want to YouTube a funny one, find Eddie Butler falls down a few times running the bases. You'll have a good time, good laugh.
Should be a lot of fun. All right. Well, we'll make sure to have Eddie back on the pregame interview at some point. He's got a whole host of other MLB stories, but for now, that's going to do it. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you, Austin.
Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing Eddie Butler on today's pregame show as the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and High Point Rockers are just about 5 to 10 minutes away from first pitch. We're going to have the lineups, the defensive alignments, and the pitching matchup coming up when we come back on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
please stay standing, direct your attention behind home plate, and welcome Jimmy and Daniel with the performance of our national anthem. Fans, please stay standing until the colors have left the field. Once again, thank you to the St. Mary's County Sheriff's Office Color Guard for the presentation of tonight's colors. The starting pitcher tonight for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, left-hander number 40, Mitch Lampson.
Great, thank you. Great job as always. You really. Okay. That's all right. We can run down a third game. I appreciate you looking ahead. This is like all really good stuff. I'm sure it was. How is, but we're still connected, right? The transmitters are connected properly? Okay, great. All right, we're going to be live in about 10 seconds.
Well, back from the Reg in Waldorf, just moments away now from the first pitch of today's ball game. As Mitch Lampson is on the mound for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, he takes on Ivan Pinero. And it is Michael Russell who will lead things off for the High Point Rockers. Bring you through the Rockers starting lineup and the Blue Crabs defensive alignment in just one moment. As the first pitch from Mitch Lamson is a little bit inside in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Before we jump into the starting lineup or the defensive alignment, let's go and give you the numbers on Lamson. 5-6 on the year, a 4.17 ERA, 1-0 offering, a little bit outside, count 2 balls and no strikes. In the month of July, a 6.08 ERA. Across this month, 26 2/3 innings. And an ERA, again, north of 6. This one swinging a high fly ball out towards center field. Sends Collier back 2 or 3 steps where he makes the catch, and there is 1 away. And here comes Ben Aklinski. So now let's run you through the High Point Rockers starting lineup. It's Michael Russell, who flied out to center moments ago. Ben Aklinski's in center field. He bats second. Jerry Downs is the first baseman. He bats third. The cleanup hitter is Xander Wheel. He's in left field. Quincy Lattimore bats fifth. He's the DH. Jay Gonzalez is the sixth hitter. He's in right field. Giovanni Alfonso bats seventh. He's at shortstop. Tyler Ladendorf is the second baseman. He bats eighth. And Dakota Mulcahy bats ninth. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball. Right field now. It is the right fielder, Matt Hibbert, who drifts to right center and makes the catch for the second out. Well, quickly, 2 up and 2 down in the top of the first inning. Let's bring you through the Blue Crabs defensive alignment. In left field, it's Jack Sundberg. In center field, Zach Collier. The right fielder is Matt Hibbert. Hibbert in for Braxton Lee, who is day-to-day. We'll hope to have him back in the lineup tomorrow. At third base, it is Alex Crosby, the shortstop, Michael Baca. At second base, Michael Wolanski. The first baseman is Jared Walker, and Mike Falsetti is doing the catching for Mitch Lamson. First pitch called strike in the count, no balls and 1 strike as it paints the inner edge. Oh, 1 offering from Lamson. Line drive, hard hit, right center field. It's a base hit. Downs hits that ball into right center. Hibbert comes up throwing. It's a long single from Jerry Downs, who took a long turn around first base. So there's a runner on first base with 2 outs after the single from Jerry Downs. And it brings up the cleanup hitter, Xander Wheel. Wheel is about as dangerous of a hitter as you're going to find in the Rockers order. There's a lot of dangerous hitters in the South Division at large. And Wheel, one of them. 24 home runs on the year. He's hitting .289. Clearly the biggest power threat in this Rockers order. Lamson, first pitch, called strike. It doesn't hurt for Xander Wheel that the short porch is in left field, his pull side over the mini monster. We never got through the entirety of the Rockers orders, so after this pitch from Lamson, we'll do that regardless of the result. 0-1. Line drive foul to the netting. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. So Jerry Downs is the 3-hitter. He's singled to left center, or right center, I should say. It's Xander Wheel in left field. Quincy Lattimore is the DH. Jay Gonzalez in right. Giovanni Alfonso, he's the shortstop, bats 7th. Tyler Ladendorf bats 8th, and Dakota Mulcahy is the 9-hitter. Blue Crabs have 3 players who don't normally get quite as much playing time in the lineup today. We'll go over that momentarily. Pitch, that's low. Falsetti keeps it in front of himself, and the count 2 balls and a strike. So, of course, Mike Falsetti is one of them. He's the Blue Crabs' 3rd catcher, but he's getting starts right now. And what really sets him apart is that pop time. The time between he gets that ball in his glove and the time it takes for him to throw down to second base. And he's in the 1.7s, 1.8s consistently. A lot of Major League catchers are north of 2, so it's really impressive. Pitch, ground ball over to third, fielded by Alex Crosby. He fires to second for the lead out and the final out in the top of the first inning. Well, the Rockers pick up 1 hit at the end of the top of the first. This ball game is scoreless. Blue Crabs come to the plate when we come back. Bottom of the first inning, the first pitch to Jack Sundberg. Swinging a high fly ball, right field rather deep. This ball tailing at the last moment, foul. Now Jack Sundberg really hit 4 home runs. He's credited with 3 right now because one of his home runs was wiped off the board after last night's game was rained out. He hit a home run on the first pitch of the ball game in Lancaster last night. He has 3 home runs in his last 3 games. Would have been 4 in his last 4 games. One swinging a fly ball, center field straight away. It's right at Beniklinski who makes the catch for the first out. Sundberg had a streak of 3 home runs in 3 consecutive at-bats. And there's one away in the bottom of the first inning. Now let's run through the Blue Crabs batting order before the defensive alignment for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Jack Sundberg leads things off. Michael Wolanski bats second. It's Zach Collier who is in the 3 spot. Jared Walker bats 4th as David Harris has the day off. Alex Crosby bats 5th. Cole Shaw in the 6th spot as the first pitch a little bit upstairs in the count. 1 ball and no strikes on Michael Wolanski. Matt Hibbert bats 7th tonight. Michael Baca in the 8th spot. And it's Mike Falsetti who closes things out in the 9th spot. He's still searching for his first hit. Pitch a little bit away in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Michael Wolanski's also listed as 0 for his last 8, but he had a rocking double in the top of the first inning yesterday. Again, that was wiped out as the ball game was rained out yesterday. 2-0 pitch, fouled back to the netting, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. They played the top of the first inning. The Blue Crabs scored 3 runs on 4 hits, and those 3 runs and 4 hits come off the board. No longer credited to Eric Manoa. That's the brother of Alec Manoa, who really struggled in the first. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a high pop-up. Shallow right center field. It's the second baseman, Leydendorf, who's called off by the center fielder, Beniklinski, who makes the catch for the second out. 2 up, 2 flyouts to center, and 2 down in the bottom of the first inning. This ball game is scoreless from Regency Furniture Stadium. Let's give you a few numbers on the starting pitcher for the High Point Rockers tonight, as Ivan Pinero takes the mound for High Point. Pinero played 9 years in affiliated baseball. First pitch, a little bit away on the lefty, Zach Collier, in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Played as high as AAA with 4 different organizations, most recently the Durham Bulls. He had a 5 ERA in 45 innings. 1-0 pitch, that's away, count 2-0. Down in Mobile in 2018, he had a 5.23 ERA, but a 0.97 whip. It was in limited appearances, though. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, count 2-1. His best year came in 2015 in AAA with a 2.70 ERA. Never got the call to the big leagues, though. And this year he comes in with a 3.46 ERA in the Atlantic League. Pitch a little bit low on the count. 3 balls and 1 strike from Ivan Pinero on Zach Collier. Let's run you around the defensive alignment for the High Point Rockers. Xander Whelan left, Beniklinski in center. In right field, it's Jay Gonzalez. Over at third base, Michael Russell. Giovanni Alfonso is at shortstop. The pitch, that's a called strike on the inside corner, count 3-2. Tyler Leydendorf is at second base. It is Jerry Downs at first, and Dakota Mulcahy is doing the catching for Ivan Pinero. Last time out for Pinero, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Pitch, this one top foul, first base side. That was the 6th pitch of the at-bat. So Zach Collier working a lengthy one against Ivan Pinero. Your umpiring crew today, Bill Worthington behind the plate, Ruben Ramirez at first, and Mike Mackey is at third base. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pinero fell behind in the count, 3-1. He works back to strike out Zach Collier to end the first inning. The end of 1, this ball game is scoreless from Regency Furniture Stadium. Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to WilliamRichmondInc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service. Well, we're back in the top of the second inning. The first pitch missed away to Quincy Lattimore, I should say. The count 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch is low, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the second inning. Blue Crabs nothing, and the Rockers nothing. And the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Base paths are empty for the leadoff hitter, Quincy Lattimore, in the second. 2-1, called strike, count 2-2. Lattimore will be followed by Jay Gonzalez. Here is the 2-2 pitch. Low and in. It may have hit him. It did hit Quincy Lattimore as he limps down the line, favoring one of his legs. Quick conversation with Jared Walker. There's a runner on first base, and nobody out to get the second inning started as Jay Gonzalez comes to the plate. We talked a little bit about Ivan Pinero and his time in minor league baseball. Mitch Lampson also has quite a bit of times in the minor league ranks. First pitch on the ground over towards second base, sliding, and it's Wilansky who can't come up with it. It goes into right field for a base hit. A seeing eye single through the right side on a chopper that would have been a routine double play ball if it was maybe 20 feet to the left. Instead, it's a base hit for Jay Gonzalez. And after Quincy Lattimore was hit by the pitch, he finds himself on third base with nobody out. Runners on the corners now for the Rockers. After Quincy Lattimore was hit by a pitch on a 2-2 count, it's Jay Gonzalez with a seeing eye single, and all of a sudden there are runners on the corners and still nobody out for the Rockers, who send Giovanni Alfonso to the plate. Pitch that's low in the dirt, nicely kept ahead of him by Mike Falsetti. There's not much question about Mike Falsetti and where he stands with the Blue Crabs here. I mean, he's not a terrific hitter, but he's a very good defensive catcher. Especially that pop time, the time from when the ball hits his glove, the time it hits the second baseman's glove is very, very good. Pitch, line drive, shallow right center field. This ball drops for a base hit. Scoring from third, it's Lattimore. And holding up at second base, Jay Gonzalez. It's an RBI single for Giovanni Alfonso. And it is a 1-0 lead for the High Point Rockers.
Now batting the second baseman, number 9, Tyler Ladendorf.
Tyler Ladendorf. First pitch called strike on the inside corner. On the count, no balls and 1 strike on Tyler Ladendorf. Ladendorf will be followed by Dakota Mulcahy. Lamps it. 0-1. In the dirt, and it splits the legs of Mike Falsetti all the way to the backstop. And it is going to go down as a wild pitch that advances the runners to second and third. And now an opportunity for Tyler Ladendorf to open this ball game up with 2 in scoring position and nobody out. For the Rockers at this point, you'd have to think that they should at least get 1 more across. If they don't get both across, okay, but from High Point's perspective, you got to at least lead this inning with a 2-0 lead. Pitch, swinging a high pop-up, first base side, long run for Walker. Still in play, he leans over and makes the catch. Firing in quickly, it's Mitch Lamson who cuts it off, and Jay Gonzalez forced to stay at third base. It's a pop-up to first base, and there is 1 away as Dakota Mulcahy comes to the plate. Either way, 1 run in already for the Rockers. It's 1-0 High Point in the top of the second inning. Running back through this inning, Quincy Lattimore led off. He was hit by a pitch. Jay Gonzalez then singled to the right side. Put runners on the corners with nobody out. Then a single from Giovanni Alfonso into right center field. That scored a run and put runners on first and second. The pitch runs way low and in. The count 1 ball and no strikes on Mulcahy. Giovanni Alfonso and Jay Gonzalez advance to second and third base on the wild pitch. Mulcahy bat behind his helmet. 1-0 pitch on the ground towards second. Mike Wolanski looks to the plate, but he realizes he has 1 play. It's at first base. And there are 2 away as Jay Gonzalez comes home and scores. It's a 2-0 lead for the High Point Rockers on the ground out to second base. It's an RBI for Dakota Mulcahy as Michael Russell comes to the plate. Meanwhile, Giovanni Alfonso from second base to third base. Pitch, swinging a high pop-up in the infield. Michael Wolanski calls everybody else off and makes the catch for the final out. Well, Mitch Lamson surrenders a pair of hits and a pair of runs in the top of the second at the end of 1.5 innings of play. It's the Rockers 2 and the Blue Crabs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning, the first pitch is popped up third base side, and it finds its way back to the seats in the count 0-1. Jared Walker gets things going in the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 Rockers over the Blue Crabs. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Blue Crabs. Walker followed by Crosby and Shaw. This evening's lineup has quite a few changes. Pitch, ground ball foul, first base side in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Run through some of those lineup changes for the Blue Crabs. When fully healthy, this Blue Crabs lineup looks something like Sundberg, Wolanski, Collier, and then Harris. You've got Crosby. You'd have Walker to follow there with Lee and DeLuca. And 1 through 8 would be really an outstanding lineup as the 0-2 pitch is a little bit away, count 1-2. And they'd have Michael Baca as a strong 9-hitter, mix in Ian Yesko to the lineup. And I mean, this is one of the top lineups in independent baseball. But 3 or 4 injuries to the Blue Crabs handicap pitch. Swing a high fly ball, center field. This one rather deep. It sends Aklinski back, but he's in front of the warning track where he makes the catch chest high for the first out. But with 3 major injuries, as David Harris, Braxton Lee, and Joe DeLuca are out of the lineup. They're not major injuries in that they're bad injuries. They're major players who are out really more than anything else. All 3 of them, for the most part, are day-to-day. So this lineup could be at full strength. So today is Friday. By the time this homestand is over, one would hope, one might expect this lineup to be at full strength. First pitch is low and in to Alex Crosby in the count 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Called strike in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. That one on the outer half to Alex Crosby. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Crosby had a terrific trip to Lancaster. 1-1 on the ground towards second. A slow roller, a hard play for the second baseman. Leidendorf, who charges in and fires to first for the second out. 5 up and 5 down for Ivan Pinero in the bottom of the second inning. And Raul Shaw will come to the plate. Here's Raul Shaw using the red bat, and he fouls it off his ankle on the count, no balls and 1 strike. It appears as though Raul Shaw is using some regular cleats tonight. That would be surprising. He has these brand new doctor cleats. He's got a stethoscope. Oh my, gotta get that word right here. In addition to the stethoscope, he's got like a good doctor, bad doctor. Pitch is a little bit low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. He is Dr. Shaw after all, if not officially. At least colloquially he is. Pitch on the ground toward third base. Count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And he was showing me the cleats earlier today, and if he's not wearing them today, I'm not sure when he's going to wear those cleats, but he's got a whole collection of really cool cleats. 1-2 offering to Raul Shaw. Check swing. It's a little bit away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Rockers 2, the Blue Crabs nothing. 5 up and 5 down from Ivan Pinero. Coming into today's ball game, Raul Shaw, this one on the ground toward third base, foul. Had a little bit of a dip in his production across the month of July, hitting just 1 for 22, a .226 batting average. Hit really well in the months of April and May and June. Especially in that month of May where he hit .271. In June, he also hit .286. There was one point during early June when he had a batting average north of .350. Pitch called, strike, 3. Bill Worthington rings up Raul Shah, the designated hitter tonight, and that ends the bottom of the second inning. 6 up and 6 down for the Blue Crabs batting order as we go to the top of the third. It's 2-0 Rockers in the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Will be a reserved seat for the entire 2022 season.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Top of the third inning, the Rockers 2, the Blue Crabs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Glad you could join us on a terrific evening. First pitch swinging, high fly ball, left field deep. This ball sails way out of here onto the roof of the clubhouse. Solo home run from Ben Aklinski. It's the number 2 hitter in the lineup who gives the Rockers a 3-0 lead. It's his 14th home run of the year, and the Rockers have a 3-0 lead. Well, a fast start for the Bats. Back in the second inning, Lattimore was hit by a pitch, came around to score. Jay Gonzalez singled, he came around to score. The RBIs to Giovanni Alfonso with a single and Dakota Mulcahy, who grounded out. And now a 3-0 lead as the first pitch is low to Jerry Downs, count 1-0. Aklinski goes deep to left. Lamps it, 1-0 pitch. Fouled back in the count, 1-1 strike. Jerry Downs has 13 home runs on the year. This is a high point lineup that is certainly not starved for power. On the year, this team has hit 99 home runs. That the 100th from Ben Aklinski. Pitch, swinging a line drive, right center field deep. This ball bounces right in front of the warning track and 3 hops the wall. Fielded out in center from Zach Collier. Jerry Downs trots into second with a double. There's still nobody out. Back-to-back extra base hits for the High Point Rockers, and there's a runner on second base with nobody out in the top of the third. And Xander Wheel comes to the dish. Things certainly don't get any easier for Mitch Lampson. One run in already in the top of the third. Runner on second with nobody out. First pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball low and out of the zone, and the count, no balls and one strike. A Friday evening in Southern Maryland, downtown Waldorf. There was originally supposed to be a lot of thunderstorms in the forecast. Those seem to be poised for later tonight. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, left field, rather deep. It's Sundberg on the edge of the warning track where he makes the catch overhead and fires into the shortstop Michael Baca to hold Xander Wheel to a long fly out, and Jerry Downs at second base. Here comes Quincy Lattimore. Well, we know the Mini Monster isn't all that deep, right? It's only about 310 feet down the line. To the Regency Furniture Stadium scoreboard, it's about 325 or so. It does jut out rather far to the Blackstone Management sign, which is about 350. Back in Lancaster, it was very shallow. First pitch, big wave and a miss from Quincy Lattimore. Down the line, it said 300. I would have ventured to guess it might have been closer to 285 or 290. Lamson gets a sign from Falsetti. 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Keeps it in front of himself. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run in for the Rockers in the top of the third. Quincy Lattimore, who scored the first run of this ball game from the righty batter's box. 1-1. Called strike on the inside corner, count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. 3-0 in the top of the third. The Blue Crabs still yet to get their first base runner of the ball game. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout to Mitch Lamson's name in tonight's ball game, and there are 2 away in the top of the third. Well, things look like they might get really ugly for the Blue Crabs. First runners on second and third, 1 run in already back in the second inning, and Lamson managed to get out of it without allowing more than a run, or more than 2 runs, I should say. Alfonso stranded on third, and then to start the third inning, a solo home run from Ben Aklinski and a double from Jerry Downs, but a fly out to left and a strikeout, and they're now 2 away. First pitch a little bit low and away, and the count 1-0 on Jay Gonzalez. Gonzalez singled back in the second. He also came around to score. He scored on the ground out from Dakota Mulcahy. Low in the dirt. Falsetti keeps it in front of himself and keeps the runner at second. Jerry Downs at bay. Mostly white clouds overhead. A little bit of gray smoke coming from what I have to imagine is the dump over there. I've never actually found out where that comes from. But most nights there are dark gray clouds or very big puffy white clouds coming from that area. Count 0-2. Thunderstorms were supposed to roll in at 7, 8, and 9 p.m. 2-0, that's a called strike. Lower part of the zone, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Right now, my weather app says 60% chance of rain at 11 p.m. Until then, we should be clear. Yeah, power plant clouds. That's what they really are, but I don't think they are power plants back there. I've never seen the smokestacks actually in that direction. 2-1 pitch. And it gets away from the catcher, Mike Falsetti, and advancing to third, it's Jerry Downs. Count 3 balls and 1 strike on the wild pitch from Mitch Lamson. 3-1 pitch upcoming from Mitch Lamson. He's set. The offering. Swinging a line drive, well hit left field. This one back to the warning track at the wall. That ball is gone. Into the first row on the picnic deck in the left field. A 2-run home run from Jay Gonzalez. It's a 5-0 start for the Rockers. A big-time hit from Jay Gonzalez as he ripped it to left and opposite field, 2-run shot. And the High Point Rockers have a 5-0 lead off of Mitch Lamson in the top of the third. Well, the Blue Crabs would have already found themselves behind the 8 ball, but it raises the stakes a little bit when you've got 3 of your top 8 hitters who are out, especially 3 of your top power bats. On the ground slowly to third, but it deflected off of his left foot. And the ice cream K-man of the game, Giovanni Alfonso, will dig back in. But it's a 5-0 lead now for the Rockers. Two home runs in the inning, 3 runs for the Rockers. It's 5-0. And the ice cream chants continue as Alfonso, who has a base hit already and driven in a run, steps back in from the right side. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, center field rather deep, sends Sundberg back, where he reaches out with the glove and makes the catch for the final out. It is 5-0 at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Blue Crabs have their work cut out for them when we come back on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. This is Ryan Haug.
Oh, first pitch to Matt Hibbert is low. The Rockers got to Mitch Lamson in the top of the third inning. They scored 3 runs. They lead it 5-0 here in the bottom of the third. Ivan Pinero, 6 up and 6 down. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Matt Hibbert. A pair of strikeouts as part of the 6 up and 6 down. 7, 8, and 9 to the plate here in the third. Pitch, ground ball, hard hit, third base side, deflects off our third base camera tripod. Well, Not sure we see that every day. Either way, Matt Latos is going to come over and collect the ball. Going to make sure that third base camera is set. Check swing. Did he go? They motioned down to first, and he held up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out in the bottom of the third. 5-0 High Point. Blue Crabs are 4-2 against the Rockers this season. The Rockers are 5-15 in the second half. Pitch ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Matt Hibbert is aboard to get things going in the bottom of the third. It is the first Blue Crabs base runner. It's the first Blue Crabs hit of the day. And Michael Baca comes to the plate. Michael Baca on the year hitting just .221. It'll be Baca followed by Falsetti and Sundberg. First pitch way up and in, count 1-0. Tossing to first base, checking on Matt Hibbert, and the count remains 1-0. Delivery. Swinging a high pop-up, center field. It's Ben Aklinski who's there with plenty of time and makes the catch for the first out. A routine fly out to center as Mike Falsetti comes to the plate. Mike Falsetti is 0 for 10 so far. He's here as a defensive player. I don't think there's much of a secret to that. Hit 177 with the Blue Crabs back in 2019. In 2018, he caught 36% of runners stealing. First pitch, popped it up in the infield. It's the second baseman Tyler Ladendorf who's under it and makes the catch for the second out. Falsetti was getting some work in the cages before the game today. Spent quite a bit of time hitting off the tee, making sure he was up and ready to go for action in tonight's ball game. Sundberg digs in from the left side. Pinero, first pitch, bunt down the third base line. It's a good one. Throw to first. Oh, did he get him? What a play. The catcher, Dakota Mulcahy, fielded that ball with the bare hand, spun around and fired to first. One heck of a play by the catcher, Dakota Mulcahy, to steal a base hit from Jack Sundberg. Couldn't have placed it much better. He ran well down the line. Didn't matter. A terrific play by the catcher, Mulcahy, to end the bottom of the third inning. Blue Crabs pick up 1 hit. They strand 1 at the end of 3. It's 5-0 Rockers in the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to WilliamRichmondInc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service. Top of the fourth inning from Regency Furniture Stadium. 5-0 Rockers. First pitch at Tyler Ladendorf is low on the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Glad you could join us on a terrific evening in Waldorf, Maryland. Pitch popped it up, foul behind home plate. The count 1 ball and 1 strike to Ladendorf. The infielder with 10 home runs, 30 RBIs, swinging a high fly ball to left. That's going to be 11. A deep fly ball to the end of the picnic deck. A solo shot from Ladendorf to get things going in the fourth. It's 6-0 Rockers. He obliterates his 11th homer of the year, and the Rockers keep on piling up runs. 6-0 here in the fourth. It doesn't help. The Blue Crabs' bats are awfully quiet, and the Rockers just keep piling up runs. Here comes Dakota Mulcahy. Things going from bad to worse here for the Blue Crabs. Everybody getting into the party. That is the 3rd home run of the game, the 102nd of the season for the High Point Rockers. And the pitch is low. Two-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Count 2 balls and 1 strike to Mulcahy. Two balls and 1 strike. Two one. Check swing. They motion down to third base. And the third base umpire, Mike Mackey, says he goes around. Your umpiring crew today, behind home plate, it's Bill. It's Bill the Skill. Bill the Skill Worthington. Ruben Ramirez is at first, and Mike Mackey at third. 2-2 pitch, low in the dirt, count 3-2. Three-two pitch upcoming to Dakota Mulcahy. Base path's empty, a run in already as Ladendorf went deep to left. 3-2. High fly ball. Center field sends Collier over to left center, and he makes the catch. There's one away. And back to the top of the order, it's Michael Russell to the plate. And the first pitch is a called strike, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Popped it up, first base side. Walker, a long run, and it's the second baseman, Wolanski, who ends up calling everybody else off to make the catch for the second out. Top of the 4th inning, 2 away now. It is 6-0. We've got a trivia question coming your way. It's coming shortly. We will also have some shout outs, so if you'd like a shout out, please comment in the YouTube chat. We already released our trivia question. That was on the Hometown Real Estate pregame show. First pitch low and away. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Ben Aklinski. Pitch, popped it up, first base side, long run for Walker over toward the dugout. He makes the catch for the final out. Well, the Rockers tack on 1 more run on 1 more hit, a solo shot from Tyler Ladendorf. It's 6-0 High Point as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to WilliamRichmondInc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service. Well, it's the bottom of the 4th inning. The first pitch, check swing, but it's a called strike on Michael Wolanski in the count. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 pitch. Check swing over toward the High Point dugout in the count 0-2. Count 0-2 on the righty Wolanski. 0-2 pitch. Swinging a foul ball, third base side. Count 1-2. Or beg your pardon. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. 6-0 Rockers. 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the 4th for High Point. 0-1. It's low. Count 1-1 or 1-2. Ivan Pinero, across 3+ innings of work, has allowed no runs on 1 hit. And the 1-2 pitch, that's also low. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are getting word that there may now be some rain in the forecast about an hour out. So we'll have to hope that stays off. Pitch, line drive. A awkward hop deflects off of the third baseman into left field for a base hit. Wolanski goes to second, and there is a runner on second. With nobody out, leadoff man is on a ball that took an awkward deflection off of Michael Russell's glove on a line drive. It's a double for Michael Wolanski. There's a runner on second with nobody out. You look at points in the game that might be turning points. Opportunities for one team to pick up a couple hits or a couple of runs and get themselves back into a game like this. This is a critical point. It really is. Blue Crabs can get Wolanski home, maybe drive in a couple more runs and put themselves in a position where they can get back in this ball game. First pitch, it's low in the count. 1 ball and no strikes on Zach Collier. 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the heart of the batting order. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Collier. Pitch, ground ball over towards second. Hard play, sliding stop by the second baseman. Ladendorf, the throw to first is in time. Meanwhile, from second to third, it's Mike Wolanski. And here comes Jared Walker. Walker flying out to center his first time up, got a good piece of contact. First pitch, wave and a miss. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Rockers who have a 6-0 lead. Put up crooked numbers in the second and third, added a single run in the 4th. And Mitchell Lamson has had a tough go of things. An opportunity to get the Blue Crabs back in this ball game, and not exactly a hitter's-friendly ballpark, though, at the Reg. Deep wall in right, deep wall in center. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, left field. This one tailing toward the Legends Club. It's going to get out of play. Well struck by Jared Walker. But a little too far in foul territory. Otherwise, he might have had himself a home run. Runner on third base, 1 out. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, foul tip. And the catcher, Dakota Mulcahy, couldn't hang on to it. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes on the lefty. It's hot out here. It's a little bit humid. You can only hope the thunderstorms hold off. Oh-2 on the ground toward first base. Nicely fielded on the backhand by Downs. He'll step on first, and there are 2 away. Meanwhile, the runner from third, Michael Wolanski, comes in and scores. It is now a 6-1 ball game. As Southern Maryland scores their first run of the game, Michael Wolanski, who had a leadoff double, advanced the third on the ground ball to second and comes on in and scores on the ground ball at first base. RBI for Jared Walker as it brings up Alex Crosby. Alex Crosby to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Pinero. Low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Our first pitch to Crosby. Beg your pardon, count 1 ball and 1 strike. That pitch is low in the dirt, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike now on the lefty Crosby. Terrific evening, though, despite the humidity. Virtually no wind. And if that cell doesn't come through, we should have sunny skies. Pitch, line drive, third base side, foul. Blue Crabs came back from a trip to Lancaster and Long Island. In Pennsylvania, the Blue Crabs won 2 games, and they're now 11-0 against the Barnstormers. 2-2 pitch. On the ground toward first, fielded deep by Jerry Downs. He steps on the bag, and that will end the inning. We'll have more on the trips to Lancaster and Long Island, along with a trivia question when we come back on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Alex Crosby, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. This is
Well, the first pitch was in there for a called strike on Jerry Downs in the top of the 5th inning. 6-1 Blue Crabs. Or 6-1 Rockers, I should say, over the Blue Crabs. As the 0-1 pitch is low, count 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 runs for the Rockers in the second, 3 runs for High Point in the third, and another run in the fourth. Gave them a 6-0 lead. Blue Crabs got 1 back in the top of the 4th. And the 1-1 pitch is away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on Jerry Downs. Downs with 13 home runs on the season. Tonight's game, he's got a single and a double. Pitch, slow ground ball over to second. Wolanski's got it. Underhand flip to first, and there's 1 away. Rockers are out hitting the Blue Crabs 7-2. High Point also has 3 long balls. Blue Crabs have none. It's good to see Michael Wolanski get credited for a double this evening after he had a double in last night's ball game before it was rained out. First pitch, swing and a miss in the count. No balls and 1 strike to Xander Wheel. Mike Falsetti, the catcher for the Blue Crabs. One of 3 players in the Blue Crabs lineup filling in for injured players. 0-1. A little bit low in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Falsetti, a primarily defensive catcher known for his arm strength and keeping runners at bay. Not known for his offensive numbers. Out in right field, Matt Hibbert in his second year with the Blue Crabs. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, deep left field. This ball gets out of here in a hurry on top of the clubhouse and over the clubhouse. Solo shot for Xander Wheel, his 25th home run of the season, and the Rockers have a 7-0 lead. They put up a 7 spot and 4 home runs off of Mitch Lamson here in the top of the 5th. Oh my. 4th consecutive inning where the Rockers have put up runs. Let's take you back a little bit of a ways now to this last road trip. Blue Crabs lost 2 out of 3 games to the Long Island Ducks on the road. The game they won was a 19-16 game. Blue Crabs led 17-6 in that one, allowed 10 runs in the 8th, going on to win 19-16. One of our trivia questions in Lancaster, as the first pitch is fouled back, count 0-1 to Quincy Lattimore, was what's the most runs scored in an MLB game? Total runs, that is, not by one team. And Blue Crabs starting pitcher Eddie Butler on today's pregame show said he guessed 41. The answer was 49. Not too far off. We have our real trivia question coming up, though. That was our trivia question a couple days ago. This one, swinging a ground ball, third base line, it tiptoes the line, gets past Crosby's glove all the way into the corner. Quincy Lattimore with a 1-out double, and more extra base hits for the High Point Rockers. And things have gotten out of control with just 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. So Xander Wheel goes deep with a home run. Quincy Lattimore doubles. As far as hits today, that was the 9th. It is also the 6th extra base hit. 2 doubles, 4 home runs for the Rockers across the first 4 1/3 innings. Dario Polanco up and throwing for the Blue Crabs. First pitch is low in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. A little difficult to tell who's catching him. Might be Ian Yetzko. I think it is Ian Yetzko. It's tough to tell, though. Pitch called strike in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. One delivery, that's low. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 7-1. Rockers have tacked on a run in the 4th consecutive inning. Not done yet either with a runner on second and 1 out. Two-one delivery, ground ball foul, first base side, in the count 2-2. Blue Crabs trail this one by 6 runs. And they've been behind since the top of the 2nd inning. Home runs have hurt the Blue Crabs. Dario Polanco might get a good shot tonight with the 6-run deficit. 2-1 pitch, or 2-2 pitch, I should say. It's low and away, count 3-2. Now for Blue Crabs starter Mitch Lamson. Have to think they want him to go 5 innings, but at some point, things get to a point where you just got to take him out. And I don't think the Blue Crabs are quite there yet, but it's getting there, I'd have to believe. Pitch, ground ball, right back to the mound, snagged by Lamson. He tosses to first. Now firing over to Walker, and there are 2 away. When you have 2 outs in the 5th inning, I have a hard time believing that the Blue Crabs are going to take out Mitch Lamson at this point.
Now batting your Orlando's Texas Imperials candidate at the evening, number 1, Giovanni Alfonso.
And Giovanni Alfonso comes to the plate. Alfonso's 1 for 2. He singled, drove in a run, and he also flied out to center field. Alfonso's the ice cream man, but he's hit the ball well both times. Alfonso has just 2 home runs on the year. First pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss, count 0-1. Back to that trivia question. We said we were going to get to it. We're going to get to it right after this pitch. Also going to get to some shout-outs as soon as we can. 0-1 pitch from Lamson. Swing and a miss yet again. It might have been a foul tip, and they count 0-2. So the trivia question is, with David Ortiz inducted into the Hall of Fame, how many Dominican-born players are Hall of Famers? Eddie Butler gave this one a guess on the pregame show. He said 57. If you were listening earlier today, I said he wasn't all that close. I didn't tell you if he's too low or too high or what, but it's not 57, and it's not all that close to 57. 0-2 pitch. That misses, count 1-2. We'll type the question in the YouTube chat as well to make things a little easier for you. One and 2 on Alfonso. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, Mitch Lamson allows a 1-out home run. Also allows a double. But he works around it, surrenders just 1 run in the inning. He's allowed 7 runs across 5 innings of play. We're halfway done. Blue Crabs have some work to do when we come back.
This is Braxton Lee, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is
First pitch a little bit upstairs to Raul Shah. It's 7-1. The Rockers lead over the Blue Crabs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Blue Crabs send 6, 7, and 8 to the plate. 1-0 is a breaking ball, a little bit inside, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Well, we're glad everybody can join us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network via either Facebook or YouTube tonight. As the 2-0 offering. Foul back to the netting, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Raul Shah. Shah hitting .226 on the season. Had a tough month of July. He's been playing sporadically throughout the month. After he played very well at times during May and early June, but since then things have faltered a little bit. 2-1. A little bit low on the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. He was telling me earlier about some of the changes he's been making to his swing, whether he's incorporating a step or just merely shifting of the weight from the back hip to the front hip. Different ways that he works on his swing. 3-1 delivery, low in the count, or that's ball 4, I should say. And Raul Shah is aboard with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. For the Blue Crabs, that's just their 3rd base runner. Runner on first base with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch, a little bit low to Matt Hibbert in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Hibbert in right field today in place of Braxton Lee, who's out for the day. 1-0, a little bit upstairs in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Crabs hope to have Ryan Haug back within a day or 2. But for now, it's Mike Falsetti behind the plate. Ivan Pinero pitched very well across the first 4 innings. Some control issues now as the 2-0 pitch is a little up and in, count 3-0. So after walking Raul Shah, Matt Hibbert ahead on the count, 3 balls and no strikes. From here, it's Michael Baca and Mike Falsetti to the plate. 3-0, that's ball 4. Matt Hibbert aboard for the 2nd time today. Hibbert has one of the Blue Crabs' 2 hits. He also has one of the Blue Crabs' 2 walks. Runners on first and second and nobody out, and there's a very quick meeting at the mound. Not waiting around for things to get worse as Frank Viola, the High Point Rockers pitching coach, comes to the mound, have a conversation with Ivan Pinero. Pinero goes today, Sam Burton tomorrow. Those are the 2 confirmed, and Neil Ascali, who has recently been on that injured list, is due to be taken off the injured list and back in the rotation for Sunday's ball game, as he should be back at full health. Question for Sunday's game, though, with regard to Ascali is, well, how deep can he go into a ball game? It's probably going to end up being a bullpen day. First pitch, a little bit low and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes on Michael Baca. Back-to-back walks issued by Ivan Pinero. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Baca at the plate, Falsetti to follow. 1-0 pitch, called strike, count 1-1. Falsetti on deck. He's 0 for 11 so far with the Blue Crabs, 7 strikeouts, but he's working on it. He says, look, I'm swinging away. Looking to get some hits here. At some point they'll come. 1-1 delivery. That's outside. Snap throw down to first base and easily diving in safely, Matt Hibbert. Either way, the count 2 balls and 1 strike. So Shaw led off with a walk. Hibbert walked from there, and Baca at the plate and ahead in the count 2-1. 10 balls and just 3 strikes thrown in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a 2-1 pitch in there for a strike, count 2-2. A host of twos across the board. 2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Michael Baca goes down on strikes, and there is 1 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Breaking ball, probably a little bit low and out of the zone. It's a big first out for Ivan Pinero, who fell behind in the count 2-1 and battled back to strike out Michael Baca. First pitch, a swing and a miss in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Oh, 1 pitch upcoming to Mike Falsetti. This one on the ground toward third. Could be 2 on to second for 1. Back on to first. 5, 4, 3, double play. And that ends the bottom of the 5th inning. Blue Crabs had 2 base runners on a pair of walks, but all that for nothing as a strikeout and a double play end the bottom of the 5th. The Rockers lead this one 7-1 as we go to the top of the 6th on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Well, we welcome you back in the top of the 6th inning from Southern Maryland as the first pitch is low in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. As Dario Polanco enters the ball game. Dario Polanco, last pitch in that last game against Long Island as the 1-0 pitch, a swing and a miss. In the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Polanco's been up and down all year. Has a 7.59 ERA coming into the inning. In his last appearance on Long Island, 2/3 of an inning, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 hits, 1 walk. 1-1 pitch is down, count 2-1. It's 7-1 in favor of the High Point Rockers as High Point put up runs in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, left center field deep. This one back to the warning track. Sundberg at the wall, and he makes the catch in front of the Blackstone management sign. Oh, nearly another home run, but it stays in the yard. And there's 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. Well, Dario Polanco catches a bit of a break. That ball held up just long enough and didn't get too deep. Either way, there is a threatening cloud out in left center field. I think you probably have a bit of a view of it. Dark gray and threatening. Our weather app still says nothing to come in the forecast. Pitch, that one's fouled back. Count, no balls and 1 strike. Here's Dakota Mulcahy. And the pitch a little bit low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, after Tyler Ladendorf went deep to left field his last time up, he flies out to deep left center this time, and Dakota Mulcahy, the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch, check swing. Motion down to third, and the third base umpire Mike Mackey says he goes around. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mulcahy. Ladendorf, Mulcahy, and Russell to the plate. We are working on fixing that center field camera for you, so we're back to a 2-camera broadcast. Hope to get the third base camera working as well. 1-2 pitch on the ground over toward first base. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the wind is blowing out toward right center field. Terrific day, or terrific evening earlier. Just a couple of clouds in the sky. Afternoon was rainy. There were a lot of thunderstorms threatening to form. Never really came though. For the Rockers, 7 runs on 9 hits. We're going to get to some shout-outs and some trivia question answers in just a couple of moments. The 1-2 pitch is a little bit low. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on Dakota Mulcahy. Pitch a little bit upstairs, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, let's start with those shout-outs. Zachary Cummings, Danny D saying, let's go Falsetti. And 3-2 pitch, that's a little bit low, and it's ball 4. Runner on first base now with 1 out. Getting back to those shout-outs. Wes Mumper chiming in on the YouTube feed. Donnie Geeky says, let's go Blue Crabs, watching as usual from Powder Springs, Georgia. This one on the ground toward third, foul. The count, no balls and 1 strike to Michael Russell. Tammy Shipley says, hi everybody watching from Ohio. And Wes Mumper, who was on the broadcast yesterday, says, come on, Crabs, let's continue getting steamed. For now, Southern Maryland behind by 6, looking to get back in this ball game. 0-1 pitch, low into the dirt. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Michael Russell. Again, our trivia question tonight is with David Ortiz, inducted into the Hall of Fame. How many Dominican-born MLB players have been inducted into the Hall of Fame? Pitch on the ground, up the middle for a base hit. Michael Russell to center field. There are runners on first and second with just 1 out. So 2 on and 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Two on with 1 out. Polanco set at the chest. Pitch. This one grounded foul first base side by Ben Aklinski. Well, the trivia question was just posted in the YouTube chat. 0-1 pitch, a little bit up and away, count 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the question with David Ortiz recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. How many Dominican-born players have now been inducted into the Hall of Fame? Eddie Butler answered earlier today. He guessed 57. I told him it wasn't all that close. But now you have a chance to guess in the YouTube chat. 1-1 delivery. Low and in, throw down to second. He got him. Oh, how about that? Mike Falsetti putting on a show behind the plate. Terrific throw to first base, and he back picks the runner for the second out. There's no question about the pop time from Mike Falsetti. It's really good. 2-1 delivery, line drive, left field, base hit from Ben Aklinski. It goes all the way to the wall. Scoring from second, it's Dakota Mulcahy. It's an RBI double from Ben Aklinski, and the lead is now 8-1 in favor of High Point.
Now batting the first baseman, number 20, Jerry Downs.
Matt Hopeful says, great question, Austin. Well, we really need to thank Blaine Pilkerton for this question. Blaine, who's our official scorer, really comes up with a lot of great trivia questions. First pitch from Dario Polanco, a little bit low and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. I think you'd have to wonder who are some of the options out of the bullpen for the Blue Crabs tonight. I wouldn't think we'll see either Patrick Baker or Endres Briseño, or for that matter, Matt Latos either. Which sort of limits your options. I think Dario Polanco will obviously already in the game. Cody Strayer will likely have a shot. You may see Dalton Geekie, who last pitched back on July 24th on Long Island. Went 1+ inning of work, pitch inside. The count 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on second base. That's Ben Aklinski as Jerry Downs digs back in from the left side. 2-0 pitch. A little bit upstairs. Count 3-0. Well, that Sell of bad weather, which was out toward left field, seems to have passed us without much of an issue. 3-0 delivery, called strike, count 3 balls and 1 strike. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch a little bit up and away, and it is ball 4. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Well, Blue Crabs just wrapped up a 6-game road trip. The Blue Crabs are 26-16 on the road, 35-9 at home. First pitch inside, gets away from Falsetti, and the runners advance from first and second to second and third. So Jerry Downs advances from first to second. Ben Aklinski from second to third. Now 2 in scoring position with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Blue Crabs have just 9 losses at home on the year. But if things stand, they would suffer their 10th loss. Well, it's taken 87 games to get to 10 losses at home. It's frankly not too bad. 2-0 pitch, called strike. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Count 1-1 on Wheel. Pitch, ground ball, third base side, a little bit of awkward spin on it, and it hit the bat twice. So count 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Polanco is set. Glove to the chest. Now at the belt. Here's the 1-2. Low and in. Count 2-2. Polanco has been susceptible to walks this year. Walked 1 already in the inning across 21 and a third innings. He's walked 18 batters. It's about a walk per inning, just shy. $16 walks, 13 strikeouts. Here's the pitch, up and away. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Polanco was ahead in the count 1-2 on Xander Wheel, who's one of the best hitters in the Atlantic League. Well, not anymore. It's a 3-2 count. Blue Crabs not a team that's got a ton of power. Can hit home runs, no question about that. 3-2. On the ground towards second, takes an awkward deflection after Polanco's leg. Flip to first, is in time. They got him. Athletic play from Dario Polanco after it deflected off of his leg. He had the presence of mind to get up and find the ball before tossing to first for the final out. Well, he saves a run and possibly more as he records the final out in the top of the 6th inning. The Rockers have an 8-1 lead over Southern Maryland. Bottom of the sixth inning, the first pitch misses low to Jack Sundberg in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. 8-1 Rockers over the Blue Crabs. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, left center field, not all that deep. It's the center fielder Aklinski who gives way to the left fielder Xander Wheel, who makes the catch for the first out. Well, Jack Sundberg hit 3 home runs over the course of 3 at-bats in this last road trip. He's been popping up a few balls since then. When you're hitting in Lancaster, you're going to get a lot of extra homers. A short porch and right is to thank more times than not. Michael Wolanski digs in from the right side. First pitch, a little bit low and away. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Wolanski 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. Had a double wiped off of his name yesterday after this one swinging a high fly ball, right center field, rather deep. Back to the warning track at the wall, and it's the right fielder, Jay Gonzalez, who comes up with it. Oh, what a terrific catch. That ball would be way out of here in Lancaster, but here at Regency Furniture Stadium, just a little too deep in right center field. It's a long fly out. Well, there's no question that the second baseman, Michael Wolanski, gave that ball a ride to deep right center field. Either way, it goes down as just an out. Well, Zach Collier will dig in. Collier taps home plate twice, bat behind his helmet. First pitch, wave and a miss, count 0-1. Well, the Blue Crabs, if they're going to come back, need the top of their order to really produce, and so far tonight, they have not. It's not to say that Michael Wolanski hasn't had a solid game. He's 1 for 3 with a double and a couple of hard-hit line drives, but on the whole front, top of the order has not produced as much as they need to have, as the 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed, count 0-2. Blue Crabs have 2 hits across 5 2/3 innings. Pitch, swing, and a miss. Strike 3. Blue Crabs down in order 1, 2, 3 to end the bottom of the 6th inning. We're done with 6th. It's the Rockers 8. It's the Blue Crabs 1 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
First pitch in there for a called strike on Quincy Lattimore. Ian Yates goes into the game at third base for Alex Crosby. 8-1 in the top of the seventh. That ball out of the reach of the Blue Crabs catcher Mike Falsetti, and the count 1-1 strike. Well, the Rockers have picked up runs in nearly every inning, save the first. Last 5 consecutive innings, they've scored runs. 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. It's 8-1. Pitch called strike. Count 1-2 strikes. Well, the reason it's somewhat significant is that Ian Yetzko will lead off in the bottom of the seventh inning. He should get a couple of bats here. Pitch low and in. Count 2-2 strikes. Well, that's unless the Blue Crabs went with a double shift. It is possible Crosby could have moved to DH and Shaw exited in favor of Yetzko. That's possible, but unlikely. 2-1 pitch. That's low. Or 2-2 pitch, I should say. And the count 3-2. On Quincy Lattimore. Here's the 3-2 pitch. On the ground toward third. Yetzko fields in the forehand. Quick stutter step. Throw to first is in time. Strong throw by the third baseman, Ian Yetzko, who had his momentum taking him toward second base. Had to plant and fire in time for the first out. One away in the top of the seventh inning. Rockers lead the Blue Crabs 8-1. They're also out hitting the Blue Crabs 11-2. You're not going to win games when you have 2 hits and the opposition has 11. It's just not going to happen. It's also not going to happen when you've allowed 4 home runs, and that's the case tonight. 4 home runs and 6 extra base hits. First pitch a little bit low for ball 1 on Jay Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the 6th hitter in the order. He's gone deep tonight, over the wall on left. 1-0 pitch, called strike, count 1-1 strike. The home run hitters tonight: Ben Aklinski, Xander Wheel, Jay Gonzalez, Tyler Ladendorf. Pitch, that runs inside, count 2-1. Funny enough, the Blue Crabs' record when they allow the first run is surprisingly outstanding. 26-15 when they allow the first run, when they don't score first. In all likelihood, they're going to fall today after allowing the first run. But the ability for this team to battle back, so something to be said for it for sure. Polanco, 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Polanco gets Jay Gonzalez looking, and after a very tough 6th inning, Polanco has recovered here in the 7th. Here comes Giovanni Alfonso. First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner to Giovanni Alfonso. Well, Blue Crabs would, I'm sure, like to be back to a full-strength lineup tomorrow, and I'd have to imagine there's a good shot that's the case. Either way, a couple of guys making the most of their opportunity as the 0-1 pitch is fouled back, count 0-2. First of whom is Matt Hibbert. Hibbert 1 for 1 today. He's also walked. Blue Crabs have only had 4 base runners today, and Hibbert has been on base 2 of those 4 times, so can't really say enough about his time at the plate. Pitch, 1 hopper to second on the backhand, fielded by Wolanski. The toss to first is in time. Polanco records the Rockers 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 7th. It's time to stretch in Southern Maryland, 8-1 Rockers. Well, Walker fouls the first pitch off, third base side. Count no balls and 1 strike on the lefty Jared Walker. In the bottom of the 7th, Walker followed by Yetzko and Shaw as the pitch is low and in. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, we've talked about this on prior broadcasts, but it's good to see Ian Yetzko getting another opportunity. Yetzko, someone puts a lot of time and effort in. This one swinging a high fly ball, deep right center field, back to the warning track at the wall. It bounces and then goes over the wall. It is an automatic double on a ground rule double off of Ivan Pinheiro. It's just the 3rd Blue Crabs hit and the 5th Blue Crabs base runner here in the bottom of the 7th. 8-1 ball game. Let's see if Ian Yetzko can try to draw the Blue Crabs a little bit closer. Yetzko was 3 for 5 his last time in Southern Maryland, including a home run, a double, and the go-ahead single. On the road trip, 0 for 3 on Long Island, 1 for 4 with an RBI double. That was in Lancaster. So in his last 12 at-bats, 4 for 12, 2 doubles, a home run, and 5 RBIs. Pitch, ground ball, hard hit right at the shortstop. Play is going to be to first base, and there is 1 away. Well, Ian Yetzko hit that ball right on the nose, but right at the shortstop. That is Giovanni Alfonso. Alfonso actually looked back Jared Walker at second base, who advanced from second to third. Looked like he was off on contact. Not a good base running move by Jared Walker. Either way, he does advance to third base. Here comes Raul Shah, who's 0 for 2 today. I beg your pardon, 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch is low in the dirt. Count 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch, hard ground ball, foul, third base line. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-2. On Raul Shah. Runner on third base, here's the pitch, that's away. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rockers 8, Blue Crabs 1. Southern Maryland picked up just their 3rd hit of the day. It was an extra base hit. And 2 of the 3 Blue Crabs hits have been extra base hits. The only single came from Matt Hibbert, who he's on deck. 2-2 pitch upcoming to Shaw. Here's the offering. Foul back. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Raul Shah goes with a red bat. He's got the cool cleats. Usually, I'm not sure which cleats he's going with today. They look pretty traditional, though, for the most part. Pitch, line drive, foul, first base side. Shaw steps back in. Two-two, line drive, first base side, foul, gets towards the seats. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Raul Shah will be followed by Hibbert and then Baca. 6, 7, and 8 in the Blue Crabs order. With 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. Blue Crabs trying to get back in it. 2-2 pitch just away. Count 3-2. Ivan Pinheiro wanted that one. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shah steps back in. Well, fans, thank you for joining us, whether you're here in Southern Maryland, if you're a fan of the Blue Crabs or a fan of the Rockers. Either way, we thank you. 3-2 pitch. Fouled back yet again. A very lengthy at bat from Raul Shah. The righty digs back in. Pinheiro, the 3-2. Low in the dirt, it's ball 4. Shaw, for the 2nd time tonight, has walked. Gives a shot for Matt Hibbert. Matt Hibbert has had a very good game thus far, a base hit and a walk. And it looks like this might spell the end of the road for Ivan Pinheiro as he goes 6 1/3 innings of work. He is responsible for the runners on the corners. He has allowed just 1 run so far on 3 hits. We'll step aside. When we come back, the Blue Crabs are going to try to get back in this ball game. They'll send 7, 8, and 9 to the plate with runners in the corners and 1 out. Well, the first pitch missed to Matt Hibbert. Now the 1-0 offering is upstairs. Count 2 balls and no strikes. It's 8-1 with runners on the corners and 1 out. Two-0 pitch upcoming. That's away. Count 3 balls and no strikes on Hibbert. Hibbert has singled once. He's walked once. He's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes here in his 3rd plate appearance of the day. From first base, it's Raul Shah. From third base, Jared Walker. 3-0 pitch. That's well outside. It's ball 4. 4-pitch walk issued to Matt Hibbert. As Liam O'Sullivan, the relief pitcher for the High Point Rockers, runs into trouble early. Liam O'Sullivan has a 7.54 ERA on the season. Across 22 2/3 innings. Only walked 5 batters. First pitch is a called strike now on Michael Baca. Baca will be followed by Mike Falsetti. And some Michael Baca chance. 0-1, that's well outside, count 1-1. If you're the Blue Crabs in this situation, bases loaded, 1 out. And I beg your pardon, I said it was Liam O'Sullivan. It's Kyle Mott on the mound, number 36, not number 35. Mott has walked 24 batters in 26 innings. I think the idea has to just be take. Take and take and take and make him throw some strikes here. He's only allowed 12 hits this year. You're going to have to catch a break as well. 1-1 pitch. Line drive foul, first base side, count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases are loaded for the Blue Crabs, the 8 and 9 hitters at the plate. Michael Baca, who's hitting .218 on the season. Mike Falsetti, who's 0 for 11 thus far. 1-1 pitch upstairs, or 1-2 I should say. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Two-two delivery, line drive, right field, base hit. Walker scores from third. Shaw gets the stop sign at second. Now Baca tries to go to second, and he's safe. Somehow they missed him with the tag. 2-run score for the Blue Crabs. There are 2 in scoring position with just 1 out. Not exactly sure how Baca was safe at second base. Either way, the second baseman, Tyler Ladendorf, thought he had him, and somehow he didn't. Either way, Mike Falsetti comes to the plate. It's an 8-3 ball game. And now if you're the Blue Crabs, it's 8-3. You're down by 5. There are 2 in scoring position with 1 out. You got to get both those runs in. If this is an 8-5 ball game going into the 8th, it's a totally different situation. First pitch up and into Mike Falsetti, in the count 1 ball and no strikes. Falsetti grounded into a double play his last time up. Can't do that this time unless they find some bizarre way to get it done with runners on second and third and 1 out. It was a 5-4-3 double play. 1-0. That's inside. Count 2-0. Mike Falsetti has walked this year. His first plate appearance with the Blue Crabs was a walk. Also drove in a run while he was at it. Count 2-0 now on the righty. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, count 2-1. Well, the Blue Crabs have scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's an 8-3 ball game. A single to right field with an error on the right fielder, Jay Gonzalez, allowed that second run to come in and score. Count 2-1 now on Falsetti. Here's the pitch from Mott. A little bit inside. Count 3 balls and a strike. If you're Kyle Mott here, just throw strikes. You're going up against the bottom of the lineup. You don't want to start to have to face the top of the lineup. After Jack Sundberg, things get really dangerous yet again. Michael Wolanski, 3-1, swing and a miss, count 3-2. Counts full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on for the Blue Crabs. It's an 8-3 Rockers lead. Mott set, here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, Falsetti 0 for 3 now, he struck out once. Back to the top of the order now for Jack Sundberg, and it looks like we've got another pitching change coming our way. Well, it's 8-3, the Rockers over the Blue Crabs. Meeting at the mound, that's going to do it for Kyle Mott as they go back to the top of the lineup. I'd imagine they're going to bring in a lefty for this lefty-lefty matchup with Jack Sundberg. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Well, we are back from Southern Maryland. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Rockers have an 8-3 lead, but there are 2 in scoring position for Jack Sundberg. New pitcher in the ballgame, number 25, Junior Rincon. 2.79 ERA. First pitch is away. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Across 9 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. He has walked 5. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Sundberg. From third base, it's Hibbert. From second base, Michael Baca. Pitch, check swing, it's low. And the count 2 balls and no strikes now on Sundberg. There is a rain cell coming in. We hope that it will not hit us, but there is a chance that this game could be delayed a little bit later. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Sundberg digs back in. 2-0 pitch. Low and in, count 3-0. Three balls, no strikes, 2 outs. If Sundberg walks, Wolanski would come to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. An opportunity to get the Blue Crabs back into this ball game. Junior Rincon. Here's the 3-0. Called strike right down the middle on a breaking ball on the count 3-1. I think Sundberg was taking all the way there, seeing if Junior Rincon could find that strike zone, and he did. 3-1 pitch now. Swinging a line drive, left center field. This ball drops for a base hit. Hibbert scores. Buck around third. He scores. It's 8-5. A 2 RBI single for Jack Sundberg. He's red hot at the plate, and he comes through in a big way in the bottom of the 7th. Blue Crabs not quite done yet. I'd have to imagine that Jack Sundberg is stealing on any chance he gets. Trying to put a runner in scoring position and cut this deficit further. Either way, the Blue Crabs with a 4 spot in the 7th, making things interesting. Wolanski steps back in from the right side. First pitch coming from Junior Rincon, an 8-5 ball game. That's inside, count 1-0. There's one thing that Jack Sundberg is known for, it's stolen bases. Sundberg 28 out of 33 successful on stolen bases. Sundberg 3rd in the league, behind Reinheimer and Hampton. 1-0 pitch, that's a strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm honestly stunned that we haven't seen Sundberg go yet. One ball and 1 strike, runner on first base. Wolanski already has doubled once, and he shot a ball to the alley, but it was reeled in by the right fielder Jay Gonzalez earlier in this ballgame. Could easily have 2 doubles. 1-1 pitch, low, count 2-1. If Wolanski is to get aboard, Zach Collier would step in as the tying run. Well, the Blue Crabs had trouble solving Ivan Pinheiro. Finally in the 7th inning, they got to him, and the bullpen as well. 2-1 pitch, low, count 3-1. Junior Rincon fell behind in the count to Sundberg. 3-0, got a strike, and on the 3-1 pitch, he served one to left center. That drove in a pair. Now it's Michael Wolanski ahead on the count, 3-1. Rincon set. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball, hard hit, but it's right to the third baseman. That one is gobbled up and fired to second by the third baseman, Michael Russell, who ends the bottom of the 7th inning. The Blue Crabs score 4 at the end of 7. And it's the Blue Crabs who trail 8-5. Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate or go to williamrichmondinc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service. Well, we go to the top of the 8th inning. The Rockers 8 and the Blue Crabs 5 as Dario Polanco steps in. First pitch a little bit away, and Mike Falsetti couldn't handle the pitch. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Falsetti certainly has a good arm. There's no question about that. A couple balls have gotten by him so far today that probably wishes stayed in front of him. The Blue Crabs have found themselves back in this ball game all of a sudden. 1-0 is up and away. Count 2-0. Well, Southern Maryland starter Mitch Lamson went 5 innings, allowed 7 runs. Dario Polanco came in from there. He's gone 2+ innings now, allowed just 1 run. Pitches a called strike. Count should be 2-0. 2-1, I should say, and it is. Our scoreboard has it at 1-1. Bill the Skill Worthington, he's got the count right. Wanted to make sure everybody knew, but we still haven't updated it here. Pitch, line drive. Oh, a diving play. Baca got to it and snagged it for the first out. Retires Tyler Ladendorf, who still wants to step onto first base just for good measure, as a single is stolen from Ladendorf. There's 1 away in the top of the 8th. Now, there is risk of a rain delay coming. There's a cell over the Potomac, and it's headed in our direction. Pitch, swing, and a miss in the count 0-1 from Dakota Mulcahy. Blue Crabs groundskeeper Ben Baker had a conversation with the home plate umpire Bill the Skill Worthington. They opted to play on for now, but I'd have to imagine that the Blue Crabs may end up tarping pretty soon. Pitch, swing and a miss, count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. If it rains, I don't think it's going to be all that extended rain. Should be a quick and passing cell, but 0-2 pitches away, count 1-2. It's never fun to delay a ball game, though, in the 8th or 9th inning. I beg your pardon. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 away in the top of the 8th. Cody Strayer is up and throwing for the Blue Crabs. David Harris walking out toward the bullpen right now. Harris red hot at the plate, but the night off tonight. One of a few players in the Blue Crabs who's day-to-day. 1-1 pitch on the ground over towards second. Michael Wolanski fields it on 5 hops, fires to first, and there are 2 away. Well, Dario Polanco has recorded 6 consecutive outs as we go back to the top of the lineup. And here comes Michael Russell. Russell hitting just .230 on the year. He has 3 home runs. He followed by Ben Aklinski. First pitch called strike. It's a little tough to tell who is doing the bullpen catching right now for the Blue Crabs. It looks like number 40, who I would say, well, that it's Mitchell Lamson, but it's not because he's wearing a regular catcher's mitt. 0-1 pitch to Russell is fouled off the inside of his left ankle. Oh, and he's not wearing a shin guard, and that's going to leave a mark. Rockers training staff and coaching staff out there make sure he's okay. Either way, Polanco ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and there have been many times this year when you look at the work that Polanco has done, you say that he's really kept the team in this ball game. And the same is true tonight. 2 2/3 innings, he's ahead in the count, 0-2. He allowed 1 run in the 6th, but that's it. And he's had games this year that have sort of been stinkers. Ones that, last time out against Long Island, 2/3 of an inning, 4 runs. But there have also been games this year for Polanco where he comes in and he keeps the Blue Crabs in it. Usually the Blue Crabs down in the game. Today down 7-1 when he enters. Gives the Blue Crabs 3 innings, allows just 1 run. And the bats are starting to come alive, scored 4 runs in that last inning. And all of a sudden, Southern Maryland very much in this ball game. Well, Russell behind in the count, 0-2. He's got some sort of a strap on that left cleat. But whatever that strap does or whatever the guard is, it did not help that time around. 0-2 pitch. Oh, it looked awfully close. Bill Worthington wouldn't ring up Michael Russell, though. Maybe a bit of a hitter-friendly strike zone after he just injured himself, or found himself in pain at least. Polanco the 1-2. That's low, count 2-2. Polanco taps the rosin bag. Maybe some rain coming shortly. Question is whether or not we get hit by a cell that is awfully close. Two-two pitch inside, count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Three-two pitch, up and away, it's ball 4. Well, Polanco was ahead in the count, 0-2, but he couldn't finish off Michael Russell. That's going to spell the end of the evening for Dario Polanco. 2 2/3 innings, 1 run. He is responsible for the runner on first base as Cody Strayer will enter the ball game for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Overall, you got to be happy with the job that Dario Polanco did. I think he probably wanted strike 3 on one of those last pitches. Well, that ends the night for Dario Polanco. He goes 2 2/3, 1 run. He keeps the Blue Crabs in it. It's 8-5 Rockers with 2 outs in the top of the 8th when we come back.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Cody Strayer on the mound. First pitch from Strayer is up and away to Ben Aklinski. We're on the top of the 8th inning. It's 8-5. The Rockers lead the Blue Crabs with a runner on first base. Dario Polanco did his job. 2 2/3 innings, just 1 run. Cody Strayer is tasked with getting just 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. And I'm sure the Blue Crabs would reevaluate when it comes to the 9th. 1-0 pitch. That skips away from Mike Falsetti. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. That's a wild pitch, but one that Falsetti probably wants back. I mean, it's in the dirt. It's not an easy pitch to get to, but catchers pride themselves on being able to block a lot of those pitches. Runner on second base, 2 outs. Two-0 delivery. Called strike, count 2-1. Strayer, a sidearm pitcher, mixes up the look, and I think that can be important, especially in short appearances. Two-one offering. Pitch, that's away. Count 3 balls and a 1 strike. Three balls and 1 strike on Ben Aklinski. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. Well, Cody Strayer's had a bit of a tough go since joining the Blue Crabs. Well, appears as though we might just be safe from that rain as the cell split. Maybe it's going to come hit us a little later, but you had to be encouraged that at least the cell did split. It was a rather large cell, and the storm cell no longer quite as large. Cody Strayer came in with an ERA of 27. Pitch, it's away. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Across 1 2/3 innings, he's now walked 2 on 4 hits and 5 runs. Jerry Downs, a .295 hitter for the Rockers. 1-0 pitch on the ground, first base side, count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. On first base, it's Ben Aklinski. Over on second base, it's Michael Russell. Russell walked, as did Aklinski. 1-1, called strike, count 1-2 on Downs, who's not appreciative of the call from home plate umpire Bill the Skill Worthington. And Worthington having a couple of words with Downs saying, yeah, it was a strike, and he's saying, no, it wasn't. Looked a little inside from my vantage point up top, but it can be tough to tell. Trying to look through a couple of people, the catcher and the umpire, really blocking my view as to exactly where it is. Pitch on the ground toward first base. Sprawling stop by Walker. The flip to Strayer ends the top of the 8th inning. The Blue Crabs evade trouble. They're still within 3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Well, the Blue Crabs will send 3, 4, and 5 to the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning. Zach Collier followed by Jared Walker and Ian Yetzko. First pitch on the ground towards second base. Fielded by Aklinski. The toss to first is in time. I beg your pardon. The second baseman, Tyler Ladendorf. And there's one away. Well, after Zach Collier bounces out, it's Jared Walker who comes to the plate. Walker with a couple of practice swings. Ian Yetzko to follow. First pitch is a called strike. Count no balls and 1 strike on Jared Walker. That first one just barely painting the outside corner. New pitcher in the game is Gabriel Castellanos. 0-1 is low and away, and the count 1-1. Castellanos, a very slow delivery. Does not throw all that hard. A little bit deceptive, though, from the lefty. Blue Crabs need base runners and need them desperately. Down 3 runs. Pitch. It's low, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. High Point Rockers have a couple of options as they go into the 9th inning. As the 2-1 pitch is a called strike at the letters. Count 2-2. Appears as though Ryan Dull is probably going to be the go-to guy for the save if this ball game remains 8-5. And the home plate umpire Bill Worthington calls time. As the basketball came onto the field. Two-two pitch, low and away, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. As Walker digs back in and taps home plate a few times. Bat back behind his helmet. 3-2 pitch. Upcoming from the lefty. That's low and away, ball 4. Runner on first base with 1 out for Southern Maryland as Ian Yetzko comes to the plate. Yetzko 0 for 1 with a hard ground ball to shortstop. Yetzko takes a couple of practice swings and digs back in. Here's the first pitch from the lefty. Swing and a miss. A hefty hack from Ian Yetzko. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. And the Let's Go Yetzko chance back at it. 0-1. On the inside corner, count no balls and 2 strikes. Well, following Yetzko, it's Raul Shah. As the Blue Crabs look to get some offense going here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Upstairs, count 1 and 2. Southern Maryland 5. The Rockers 8. Blue Crabs have a runner on first base with 1 out. Tying run stands on deck in Raul Shah. Here's the pitch. On the ground, foul back behind home plate. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains. Flag waving out toward right field. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ian Yetzko. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Yetzko down swinging on a breaking ball low and out of the zone. There are 2 away. Well, here comes Raul Shah. Blue Crabs send 7 and 8 to the plate. Shah digs back in. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Count 0-1 on Raul Shah. Jared Walker on first base. Raul Shah at the plate. 8-5 Rockers. They've out hit the Blue Crabs 11-5. Pitch low and away. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Hibbert stands on deck. If Shah can get on base, Hibbert would represent the tying run. No action right now in the bullpen. Pitch upstairs, count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Two-one pitches low and in, count 3-1. So Shah ahead in the count. He's walked twice already today. Looking to get on base for the 3rd time tonight. 3-1 pitch, upcoming from the lefty. Line drive, hard hit, foul, first base side. At this point in the ballgame, it's all about base runners. Extra base hits are nice. Bit of a luxury as the Blue Crabs need to find ways to get guys across home plate as we head toward the 9th. Three-two pitch away. It's ball 4. Two on and 2 outs for the Rockers pitching staff as the Blue Crabs try to find their way back into this ball game. Matt Hibbert at the plate for Southern Maryland. And now Frank Viola is going to come out to have a chat with the reliever. Meanwhile, Dalton Geeky is up and throwing for the Blue Crabs. I'd imagine he'll go the 9th. It seems as though Ryan Dull will probably come in for the Rockers for the 9th inning. Hibbert aboard 3 times in tonight's ball game as well. A hit and a pair of walks. As Gabriel Castellanos tries to work his way out of a jam. 2 on base with 2 outs. Matt Hibbert at the plate. Hibbert represents the tying run in an 8-5 ball game. Meanwhile, Michael Baca on deck. First pitch. A little bit away, count 1-0. Baca had a 2 RBI single Turned into a double when the right fielder, Jay Gonzalez, botched one out in right field. Wouldn't be stunned to see a double steal in action here. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-1. Try to put 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. With that said, Gabriel Castellanos has struggled a little bit with control, having now walked 2 batters in the inning. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-2. Pitch on the ground towards second. Rather easy play as Ladendorf tosses to first base and ends the top of the 8th inning. Blue Crabs strand 2. They trail by 3 as we go to the top of the 9th inning from Regency Furniture Stadium.
This is Braxton Lee, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, the first pitch. Well, it's a first pitch strike to Xander Wheel. The count, no balls and 1 strike. On the big-time righty pitch, swinging a ground ball past the diving reach of Ian Yetzko. It's a base hit to left field. Xander Wheel hit his 25th home run of the year. He's one of the big bats in the league, along with Courtney Hawkins, Kelly Dugan. Among Atlantic League leaders in home runs. Wheel is in 3rd place behind Courtney Hawkins, Carlos Franco, Kelly Dugan is in 4th place. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball. Left field rather deep. This ball back at the warning track at the wall. That ball is caught by Jack Sundberg up against the wall on that warning track. Very well struck by Quincy Lattimore. Either way, it's a very long fly out. You look at these numbers. Look at a guy like Courtney Hawkins who's hit 31 home runs. Sort of sit there and wonder, why hasn't a guy like that been picked up? OPS of 1,057. Xander Wheel, OPS north of 1050 as well. Strayer has allowed a base hit and a very loud out to left. 8-5 Blue Crabs, one away, pitch, low and away, count 1-0. Strayer set, 1-0 pitch up coming to Jay Gonzalez. Now the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's Strayer, 2-0. Away, count, 3 balls and no strikes. Three balls and no strikes. Runner on first base, 1 out. Pitch to Gonzalez. Called strike, count 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 8-5. The Rockers have not scored since the 6th inning. Very nearly scored moments ago on a 2-run home run, but it fell short at the warning track. 3-1 pitch is a strike, count 3-2. Jay Gonzalez at the plate right now. He'll be followed by Giovanni Alfonso. Gonzalez hit his 3rd home run of the game earlier today over the wall and left. One of a slew of difference makers tonight. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Gonzalez down swinging. And there are 2 away. So far, an inning of work from Cody Strayer. He's walked a pair. I beg your pardon, he's walked 1. He's allowed a base hit, but so far no runs. As Giovanni Alfonso comes to the plate, Alfonso has a base hit. No home run yet. Had a deep fly up to center field earlier in this ball game. First pitch is fouled back. Giovanni Alfonso restraps those batting gloves. Oh, 1 offering. Swinging a high pop up, first base side, foul territory. Runner on first base. Alfonso digs back in. Strayer trying to get out of this top of the 9th inning. Keep it at a 3-run game. Swinging a ground ball, goes the other way for a base hit. Oh, smart hitting by Alfonso from first to third. It's Xander Wheel. Runner was going on the pitch, and he really tried to do basically nothing with it. A slow roller, but the hole opened at second base when the Blue Crabs second baseman Michael Wolanski went over to cover. And Tyler Ladendorf comes to the plate. Ladendorf's gone deep already once today. Hit his 11th home run of the year. There are runners on the corners with 2 outs. Strayer trying to get out of it. First pitch. It's away. Count 1-0. Strayer stares down at his catcher, Mike Falsetti. 1-0 delivery. Called strike, count 1-1. Well, the rain was supposed to come earlier, but it appears as though there's nothing coming. It's held out all evening. Temperatures have remained warm, mid-80s, some humidity. 1-1, it's away. Count 2-1. Two-one pitch is upcoming. Strayer comes set. Wheel from third. Pitch up and in. Count 3-1. Over at first base, it's Giovanni Alfonso with 2 away in the top of the 9th. 8-5, the Rockers lead the Blue Crabs. Eight runs across the first 6 innings for High Point for the Blue Crabs. 4 runs scored in the bottom of the 7th. Strayer behind in the count, 3-1 on Ladendorf. Here's the offering. Swinging a high fly ball, deep left field. If it's fair, it's gone. This ball tailing, it is a fair ball. 3-run home run from Tyler Ladendorf. It's his 2nd home run of the ball game, and this ball game is opened up. It's 11-5. So it looks as though the Blue Crabs are going to find their comeback to be a little bit short tonight. 2-out, 3-run shot surrendered by Cody Strayer. Well, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs put up a nice fight tonight. Not quite enough to get the job done, though. Well, the first pitch is swung on and missed by Dakota Mulcahy. It's the catcher tonight in the 9th spot. Well, things have gone wrong for the Blue Crabs tonight. There's no question about that. A pair of homers from Ladendorf. They're the difference right now. 0-1 pitch. That's away. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. 4 runs in the 7th inning, but it's going to be not going to be enough tonight, barring some miraculous comeback in the 9th. Pitch, it's away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. 3 runs in the 9th for the High Point Rockers. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strayer trying to work out of the 9th inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive, right field, long run for Hibbert, and he dives and makes a terrific catch in right field to end the inning. That ball very well hit. Matt Hibbert had a long way to go, and he makes the catch for the final out in the top of the 9th inning. When we go to the bottom of the 9th, Blue Crabs certainly have their work cut out for them. They trail by 6.
This is Alex Crosby, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the 9th inning. We hope we like some of our new in-between inning music. We moved from some of the electronic music over to some classical music. A little bit of something for everybody as the first pitch is away for ball 1. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Mixed in some Mozart. Cole Aker, the new pitcher on the mound for the High Point Rockers. 1-0 pitch, fouled back behind home plate. Count 1-1. The Blue Crabs got the offense going in the 7th. They cut the deficit to 8-5, but since the Rockers put up a 3 spot in the 9th, it's 11-5. Blue Crabs are going to get something going. They're going to need the bats to pop in a big way. Baca has a hit today, hitting .223 on the year. Pitch. Ground ball over towards shortstop. Fielded by Alfonso. Double clutch, fires the first. There's one away. Here comes the catcher, Mike Falsetti. He's 0 for 3 today. He struck out once, grounded into a double play, and he popped up in the infield. And we talked about this earlier, and he's not known for what he does at the plate. He's 0 for 13 so far. And Mike Falsetti, someone who's got a terrific arm behind the plate, catches a lot of runners going. First pitch, it's low in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Falsetti. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop-up, foul territory, long run, and the first baseman couldn't quite get there. That was Jerry Downs. A little late to that ball. In foul territory down the first base line. Downs gave chase, but a little late. Mike Falsetti's got some new life. Falsetti taps home plate once. Acre ready. 1-1 pitch. Swinging a high pop-up in the infield. It's the third baseman, Michael Russell, who gets under it and makes the catch for the second out. Well, for the second time today, Mike Falsetti pops one sky high in the infield for the second out. Also grounded into a double play earlier as Jack Sundberg comes to the plate. Well, Sundberg's going to try to keep this alive. He had a 2 RBI single back in the 7th. This game, the difference has been Tyler Ladendorf for the most part. Pitch on the ground towards shortstop. A 2-hopper fielding the short hop by Alfonso. Throw to first, and that will do it. An 11-5 win for the High Point Rockers in Game 1 of this series as the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs fall short tonight. They'll try to get back on the right track tomorrow evening against the High Point Rockers in Game 2 of this series. We'll run through the box score briefly and send you on your way tonight. As we thank everybody for tuning in to the broadcast. Well, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs pick up 5 runs on 5 hits. The Rockers 11 runs on 14 hits. As the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs went with starting pitcher Mitch Lamson. He went 5 innings. Dario Polanco 2 2/3 innings. Jack Sundberg 1 for 5. Michael Wolanski 1 for 4 with a RBI and a run scored. Sundberg had 2 RBIs. Walker 1 for 3 with an RBI. He also had an RBI double at that. Crosby 0 for 2. Yetzko 0 for 2. Shaw 0 for 1. He walked 3 times tonight. Matt Hibbert 1 for 2. He scored a run and walked twice. Michael Baca 1 for 4. He drove in a run and he scored a run. Michael Baca 0 for 4 tonight. He struck out once and grounded into a double play. Again, the pitching tonight. Lamson 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned. It was not his night tonight. Polanco 2 2/3 innings. He had 2 hits. He walked 3. Allowed just 1 run though. And meanwhile, Cody Strayer, an inning and a third, he allowed 3 earned runs on a 3-run shot. That'll do it from us tonight on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. The Blue Crabs fall 11-5. We'll be back in action tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Stay tuned for our pregame show and our pregame interview at 6:20. From all of us here in Southern Maryland, I'm Austin Rooney signing off as always with Let's Go Blue Crabs.